Hello guys, good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Costa Rica Real Estate and Investments with me, your host, Richard Begson. I hope this sound is coming to you clearly. I'm actually here in Guanacaste at the moment, helping a client out find a property here, find some land to build a home, and out on the road, and didn't bring my my podcast equipment with me. So I'm just using what we have on the computer here. I hope everyone's doing well. Anyway, today we're going to be talking with Alejandro Troz. Alejandro Troz is the owner of ContaDigital or Digital. It's a tax advising and planning company here in Costa Rica. Troz is originally from Costa Rica, has advised many individuals and also businesses on the intricacies of Costa Rica and also foreign tax planning. So today we're going to be chatting about how he helps and advises his clients and what you guys should know about structure and also taxes here in Costa Rica. Quite a few of you have had a few questions about it, so I thought that I would get Troz on here so we can have a chat to him about it. Remember, guys, quite a few of you have are actually reaching out to us. Really appreciate that. We're here to help in any way that we can. I think anyone that has reached out to us has seen that we're not, it's not a full-on sales pitch that we're doing here. We really understand, kind of what it is you're looking to do. And if we can help you, then we show you how we can. If we can't, then we kind of point you in the right direction and kind of advise you. A lot of the time, just kind of, just saying, just calm down, guys. There's no rush here. Costa Rica has tons of land, and kind of putting stuff in perspective and giving you kind of a reality of what's happening here in Costa Rica. Remember, if you want to contact us, you can. info@investingcostarica.com. That's info@investingcostarica.com. Remember, if you have any topics that you'd like for us to cover in future podcasts, just give us a quick email. And if you want to have any questions for Troz, feel free to put them in the comments as well, and we'll get you the answers for them. But let's get straight into it. Good afternoon, Troz. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, Richard. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on and talk to us about taxes and kind of business structures here.
Yeah, anytime.
No worries. I mean, it's usually something that's kind of like it's not in the forefront of people's minds until they actually purchase something here in Costa Rica, or, they're looking to do a vacation rental, and then they start talking about taxes. And I know that I was like, who can I talk to about this? And I was like, you know what? Troz is the guy to talk to. So, I mean, you've been in the world of finance for quite some time now, Troz. But I mean, what have you recently seen that surprised you? And are there any trends that you guys are seeing on your side?
Yeah, as it couldn't be a surprise at this point, but just being into crypto, how it become, into kind of mainstream finance for the last couple of years, so that's why it shouldn't come as a surprise. But now you see, crypto ads in Super Bowl, US arenas are now named after big crypto companies. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the, biggest things that come as a surprise maybe, but we had to see it coming, for a few years for now,
Yeah.
We can even talk about, real estate in metaverses and those kind of things, people buying, a billboard and then, renting it or subleasing to a brand for exposure. And those things are coming, and they're already happening. They're coming, but yeah, I mean, those kind of things are kind of, still a little bit on shock that it's becoming so massive right now. And then, talking a little bit about trends, one of the biggest ones that I can notice right now, it's that the way that banking options, they're more than ever. Think about neobanks. I'm not sure if you heard about Nubank in Brazil. I mean, between 3 or 4 years, they became, like the top 3rd or 4th bank in Brazil. And just by, not having a branch, doing everything digital and just simplifying processes, and in the States, you've seen a couple of those, in some fintech companies. I personally like to work with Mercury in the States, and it's just, just easy to set up. I don't have to go to the States, it's innovative technology, and it's just options, that you didn't have before in the finance world. And we used to have to go to the States and have a little bit more, connections with banks, and it's just easier now, I would say.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I personally use Wise and Revolut, but I'm going to take a look at this Mercury one. But you mentioned something there, which is banks. I mean, a lot of people here open a corporation. Okay, they open a corporation, they don't have residency yet, and they want to open a bank account for their corporation. Do you have a preference on which bank to use, which is easier, that accepts kind of, that allows people to open accounts?
Yeah, I like to go with BAC or BAC. Their online interface, it's one of the best ones for Costa Rican banks here. usually, if there's not that much, a lot of bandwidth that they have, you can get to your account if you have all the required information, which they will probably ask you, the shareholders agreement, a projected 1-year cash flow, that you're looking to have on your business, that's something that needs to be certified by a CPA, and a couple other easy legal documents. If you have those presented to the bank, or if you have a good contact with an executive, you can get your bank account open, within a week and a half or something like that. So I really enjoy working with them. When you're sending money from the States into their bank account, they're pretty open if you're, let them know what you're doing and those kind of things. They're not gonna flag your payments or anything like that. So yeah, that would be my go-to bank here for those type of things.
Yeah, I mean, I use Bank San Jose for a lot of stuff on my side as well. I usually use Pro America. A couple of people had mentioned the public banks here, but I try and stay as far away from the public banks here just because there's a lot of bureaucracy involved.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine just last week, and he had a pretty good business and was averaging sometimes between $60,000 and $80,000 a week coming into his one of the national banks. And even though he was a customer with them for like a decade, every single time they were asking them for communicate for backups or more documentation about what the money was coming in. So
definitely.
So it's a little more bureaucracy on that side.
Definitely. Well, I mean, explain what you guys do, ContaDigital, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, sure. So kind of our main services are virtual bookkeeping. Kind of we do the work behind the scenes for some of our clients, and we just present them with financial statements, at the end of the month, and of course we help them with compliance and monthly tax declarations like the EVA or the VAT that we have here in Costa Rica, and of course year-end income tax. So that's more a little bit of the virtual bookkeeping service that we do. We also have the possibility of being just a full-on outsourced finance department, for companies or for people that are looking to do that. What do we mean by that? We process your payments. We talk and send emails on your behalf from your company. It's just imagine having it's just someone else that's not in your company or anything like that, just managing your finance department. We're able to set that up with no problems, with a dedicated email that we will get from the client, a dedicated phone number, and there's a lot of savings by doing that, because you won't be registering an employee through the local social security. You'll be just contacting a company to do these services for you. We also do QuickBooks Online setup here in Costa Rica. We got a pretty good integration with a local IRS, the Ministerio de Hacienda. So you're able to do all your invoicing directly from QuickBooks, and it'll go out with all the requirements from Hacienda. And then when you get your purchases or the invoices that you get from purchases, our system will automatically, if categorized correctly or with the specific parameters, everything will get automatically submitted into your QuickBooks accounts for reporting and saving a little bit of time with data entry. And then finally, a little bit more of a tax compliance between US and Costa Rica. We got a lot of clients that are coming here to open their own business, or like you were talking about, also their vacation rental. And it's really important to have that structure set up, between whatever you're going to do in the States and whatever you're going to do in Costa Rica, and making sure that they're aligned. And we help them with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be what a lot of people listening, the questions that they're going to have. A lot of people listening are probably going to be from North America, so they're going to have questions on that. But I mean, you guys deal with a lot of clients that are from North America and dealing with those taxes. But I mean, what is the one thing that shocks people, when they do business here in Costa Rica?
I would go with a combination of two things: bureaucracy and timing. That sometimes things, to get things done, it takes quite a while. So we just need to, you just need to be a little bit conscious, and that there's going to be a lot of prep work to get your business up and running. But once it's up and running, there shouldn't be, any problems with those kind of things. But you got to be a little bit patient, with some of, bureaucracy, with municipalities, with banking, and those kind of things. So that's why it's really important for you to get, for possible clients or people doing business in Costa Rica, to get really good advice, with in regards to how to move around with permits and anything that you can imagine. But that's the key, to get really good advice from the get-go.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, Costa Rica is, I like to say, complicated. and one person will tell you one thing and another person will tell you another. It's like directions. Ask three people.
And from the same institution.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we're dealing with it at the moment we're trying to get a water meter for one of our properties, and we filled out the form and she was like, that's not the right form. And we're like, you gave it to us. But anyway. Well, I mean, talking about taxes there just a little bit. I mean, if you're an individual here in Costa Rica and you pay taxes, and also you're an individual in the States, you're going to have to report that income, of course, probably in the States. But can your taxes be credited to your taxes in the US or abroad?
Yes, you can, but you gotta make sure that your tax status with the IRS it's aligned to your whatever tax strategy you're doing. So that's something that it'll be ideally for you to talk to your or for your preferred CPA in the States, and ideally with international knowledge, so that they know a little bit of the things of some of the specific things that need to be considered, when doing taxes also in Costa Rica. You got the F-bar, there's other possibilities of foreign income that you'll be able, some exceptions that you'll be able to apply. But yeah, the biggest thing is making sure that your tax status with the IRS, it's updated and aligned to your strategy, so yeah, that's why, when we talk to clients, we tell them, that the biggest key with that is making sure you have a tax strategy from the get-go, because it can save you a lot of time and money to organize yourself before starting your business, before starting your construction, before buying your vacation rental, to have a system set up in regards to that, so that you got everything coordinated with your CPA in the States and everything coordinated with your CPA here in Costa Rica, and everything's aligned, and you don't have, no surprises down the road in regards to that. Because yeah, I've seen it a lot of times when the structure has not been properly set up, and yeah, it just takes you time off your growing your business or whatever you want to do,
I mean, what is the easiest, simplest structure, would you say, when buying property here in Costa Rica? I mean, how would you go about, what advice would you give to people?
Yeah, I mean, I know there's two possibilities, you can consider going into business as a person or as an entity or as a corporation here in Costa Rica. And there might be some savings between one or the other, but I personally would like to always recommend just going with a corporation, because those kind of things will protect you in different scenarios and liabilities. And if you're raising money or capital, it's easier to manage your capital, your investors through a corporation than doing on a person level. And then the combination between that and whatever you can do in the States, I think it's just works easier if you're doing it like that, with a corporation here in Costa Rica and whatever you're gonna do in the States. It makes a little bit more sense. It might be a little bit more expensive, and you'll have to consider some things, with a couple of yearly taxes that needs to be done for a corporation, but they're completely manageable, price-wise and time-wise. With corporation tax and the timbre, educación y cultura, and other couple of things that involved with that.
So, I mean, I think from a function point of view, of course, having it in a corporation probably makes sense if you're not living here, because you may need to give power of attorneys, and of course, open a personal bank account here in Costa Rica if you're not a resident is not easy, whereas if a corporation, it's a lot easier. But my question for you here is this, because the Costa Rican corporation tax rate is 30%, right?
Yeah, correct.
And the individual tax rate is not 30%. Am I correct in saying that?
I believe so. Yeah, you're correct. But you gotta think about it also that it depends on kind of like the total income that you would have, because it goes into different brackets.
Okay. Yeah.
Whatever profits you're gonna get. But yeah, you're right in that assumptions.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you get to a certain level of revenue, of course, or income as a person, then of course your tax brackets can get quite high here. So, I mean, my suggestion to people is always use a corporation if you can. I think, as you mentioned there, it gives you that liability, and also, from a tax perspective as well, it might give you a benefit as well, because I don't think most people end up paying 30% tax on all of their revenues, because they also have expenses, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, what as an average would you say, Troz, is the tax percent that people usually end up paying, roughly?
I mean, it kind of have to go case by case, because it depends on the
industry. But like, just give me a range where you would say, I mean, as a vacation rental, because a lot of people ask me, and I'm like, I'll just put 30% in, but I know it's not really 30%, but I mean.
I would go, with depending on the type of expenses that you could add. You got to make sure, that that's organized and pre-set up with your, monthly VAT and those kind of things. That depending on how that goes, maybe you can consider somewhere between 12 and 16%. That you can consider going like that. But you got to be really organized and be able to back it up with, with the expenses that you would have in regards to that.
I mean, I had asked a question here, what are some creative accounting ways of reducing tax in Costa Rica for foreigners? And I just had a thought come into my mind. If you own a corporation here and you own a vacation rental that's a business and you're traveling down here for flights, can that corporation pay for those flights and deduct them?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of you coming down here for, checking on your business, so even if it's, you were saying that it's on vacation, but that's part of the thing that then you're going to make sure that, part of that vacation is going to be meeting with your property management company, meeting with your local accountant, meeting with, a possible advisor for a new property that you're looking to buy and those kind of things. So it's a matter of being really organized of how you set those things up and be able to track them in a possible system that you have or with a local accountant. But I would say that it's that you could definitely put it, as that. And
so, I mean, what services do you offer? Because a lot of people looking this are looking to invest here in Costa Rica. They have a business here in Costa Rica. But I mean, what services would you offer someone in the hotel, tourism, or vacation rental market?
All right, in those kind of industries, if you already have something set up already, that it's up and running, you got a hotel, you got a tourism company or a travel agency, something like that, and you're looking to maybe upgrade your accounting processes and software. So we can come in and just help you move to a more robust and online platform like it's QuickBooks Online, and we great reporting capabilities. Everything's been connected to Hacienda. There's no double entry that we'll be doing, and it's working on the cloud. So you got your staff that could work in in different other places, and we can come in and train your staff and let them set up and running through the system if you want to do that in keeping your staff over there. Also, it's what we talk about. It's the full outsourced, finance department. We just kind of take over everything that you would imagine in a finance department for a small hotel and a small travel agency. Because of course, we're a small, mid-sized, firm. We're not big, or we're not looking to get huge chain hotels or something like that as our business. As we like to be really, have a really good sense of service to the clients that we have. So. So yeah, and then one big one, it's just making sure that that if you have a vacation rental and you need to have a really good structure here in Costa Rica with monthly declarations in the VAT tax or the IVA. So I know that a lot of property management companies offer that. So a biggest suggestion that I tell people when they're looking to do those investments is make sure that you get those reports, from your property management company that you get on a monthly basis, that you're getting the declaration that the taxes are getting paid. Because otherwise, you can come down here, in a year, 2 years from now and have a big surprise that you were getting charged for those kind of things, but they were never actually presented to our local IRS. Then you got a big problem. So there's really good, property management companies and people working in that area. So I would just recommend that you have a really good structure asking or demanding, the backup of everything that they're doing on a monthly basis.
Definitely. Well, Troz, I mean, I suppose my last thing that I want clarifying here, just because I know it's kind of a loaded question just because we've done it before, but I mean, typically, if someone's investing here in Costa Rica, it's best to get you on a call with probably a tax advisor back at home to really just make sure, I suppose there's alignment there between Costa Rican and US or Canadian taxes.
Yeah, I mean, we've done it both ways. We've got with possible clients in the States that they have their preferred CPAs that they've been using, for a long time. And hopefully they have the international knowledge that they can use. But also we got people that will just meet with us and would like to also, and we introduce them to one of our preferred CPAs that we work, out of Tampa and out of Michigan, with really a lot of experience doing and developing businesses and developing projects here in Costa Rica. They have the experience, they've done it before, big and small developing or projects that they've done. So we offer that to our customers. If you want let's call it, the whole package, when we, advise you directly from the States, or we can work with your preferred CPA that you've worked before with no problems. We know the language, we know what they're going to ask. We have the experience and those kind of things. So it's, I think they enjoy, when their preferred CPA talk to us, because
yes,
we know the language, we know what they're talking about. And yeah, I mean, it makes sense,
awesome.
for us to have that connection. It's good.
Awesome. Well, my last question for you, Troz, is a question I love to ask everybody on the podcast. Is if you inherited $500,000 and had to invest it into a business or real estate in Costa Rica, what would you invest it in and why?
I would go with some property or land in the southern zone of Costa Rica. Dominica, Lubita, Hochal, something like that. I believe, land there still kind of affordable compared to other places like Nosara and Santa Teresa, and I'm pretty confident that if you get that, that $500,000 and you work it right or hold it for a few years, that you might be able to double it, within maybe 4 or 5 years. If you're able to segregate it and build something, you got the right connections to be able to sell those kind of things or slot, or maybe just keep it, for yourself and, sell it, a few years later. I'm confident in that area from what I can see from other clients that I have. And yeah, it's accessible right now. So if you have the money, you inherit it, just go ahead, look for your preferred, a real estate office in the area and go for it.
Yeah, no, I actually just bought a piece of land. I closed in about 20 days on it in Ojochal, but it already has all the details. I just need the soil study and then I'm ready to close on it. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's just great opportunities. I work with one of my clients that they just have one person looking for different, type of gems or just exciting opportunities, for people looking to sell and, help them. And we help them with clients that might come in that looking for, for buying those type of properties, and, big and small, there are a couple for 70,000, 100,000, and there are a few for, over $1 million, $1.5 million. So it's the right time to go into that area.
I agree. Well, Troz, this has been great. I think anybody that wants to talk corporate structures and tax with Troz over there at ContaDigital, I'll put all of the contact details here in the description here. But Troz, really appreciate you taking the time to come on the show with us.
Yeah, sure. Anytime.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Richard. All right.
Great podcast there with Alejandro Troz there from ContaDigital, guys. All of his contact details are in the description down below. I know quite a few of people that I've worked with when I produced the actual model. We kind of put a worst case scenario of 30% in there. You heard it from the horse's mouth there that we could probably turn it down a little bit. He's talking 12 to 16, but I think if you put 20% on there, it would probably be on the high end. But anyway, I think if you guys, anybody wants to discuss kind of taxes, and the impact that could have between Costa Rica and North America, US or Canada, or even in Europe, reach out to these guys. Troz is a great guy. I've known him for many, many years, and he knows what it is that he's doing. And if he doesn't, then he'll find someone that does. Remember, guys, if you need any help with finding anything or any projects here in Costa Rica, feel free to reach out to us, info@investingcostarica.com. That's info@investingcostarica.com. Till next time, I appreciate everybody listening in the podcast. Feel free to give us thumbs up, fives out there, so we can get the noise out there and get all this information in front of people out there, because I know quite a few of you are very appreciative of us getting all this information out there to help you guys. We'll speak to you soon. Bye.